With me here in the studio is Peter Williams from the campaigning organisation Right to Life. Peter, thanks so much for joining us on the programme. So, no doubt this result has pleased you.
Has indeed. I'm delighted. This was a bill that would have allowed abortion up to 14 weeks for any reason at all. It's been defeated largely thanks to a campaign of millions of people, 3 million people at one particular mass demonstration, including over 300 medical groups, hospitals, including doctors who said, I would rather go to prison rather than kill an unborn child. So this is an affirmation of the right to life of the unborn child and of human beings more generally, I would say. So this is a great human victory.
But there's a reason that this debate has surfaced at the top of the political agenda in Argentina. The country was, incredibly divided over this.
It was indeed. But what needs to happen now is the things that were brought up in that debate, which included the fact that there are women who are dying due to lack of proper obstetric care. That's what needs to be really dealt with in Argentina. When we see countries improve their medical systems, more generally when we see them improve and develop overall, what we see are lower maternal mortality rates, which also track the number of illegal abortions. So we find countries like Chile, which when it actually introduced right to life laws in 1989, saw a 70% drop in maternal mortality rates. That's because of the fact it improved maternal care.
But the fact is, as you say, illegal abortions are still taking place in Argentina. I mean, some stats say as high as 500,000 each year, between 350 and 500,000. So this is happening. I mean, shouldn't it be happening in a controlled, safe environment?
Well, an analogy might help with that. I mean, one of the things that we, of course, abhor in the modern world is the hurting of women by forced genital mutilation. Now, obviously that happens regardless of whether or not it's legal. But would we really say, if it could be made legal and therefore more sanitary, would it be therefore okay to legalise and say yes, because that will lead to fewer women being butchered in the worst way that they could be in illegal situations in Africa? Fewer women would die because of it. Would we really say that? Or would we rather say that this is a matter of human rights? This is a matter of the right of the girl not to be abused, and in the same way, it's the right of the unborn child not to be destroyed in her mother's womb. So that, I think, shows that argument simply doesn't work.
But the argument that a lot of human rights groups are making is that this should be the choice of the individual.
Well, the choice of the individual extends only insofar as it doesn't hurt another individual. And in this case, we have two individual human beings. On the one hand, we have the mother, and on the other hand, we have the unborn child. And a truly civilised society should want to love and care for both of them. That's why truly humane medical reforms that introduce the best kind of obstetric care for women, but do not destroy unborn children themselves, that's the best kind and most civilised kind of reforms that could really be put forward.
Since 1983, something like 3,000 women have died as a result of illegal abortions. I mean, again, shouldn't it go back to providing it in a safe environment for these women?
Well, that's again why I brought up FGM, because if it were true that we could decrease the number of women dying or girls dying due to FGM, would we really want to legalise a practice that involved an intrinsic abuse of the human rights of women? Of course we wouldn't want to do that. Well, in the same way then, why do we want to legalise a practice that denies the most fundamental right, which is the right to life of the unborn child? If we truly believe in human equality, we cannot believe in legalised abortion. What we should be instead trying to engage in is a medical culture that supports mothers and babies equally, because that's what equality means.